Hell no, man. Keisha, she gonna be at the motherfucking party, nigga. I'm on my
faded.
You don't hear me.
Today, we're exploring the brutal reality behind Menace II Society, the 1993 masterpiece that changed urban cinema forever. What you're about to discover will shatter everything you thought you knew about this iconic film. From real gang members infiltrating the set to actual violence bleeding into scripted scenes, these 20 facts reveal how dangerously close fiction came to reality during production. The Hughes Brothers created more than a movie. They documented a world where the line between acting and survival disappeared completely. Prepare to see Menace II Society in a way that will haunt you long after the credits roll. Number 1. The liquor store robbery reality check. The opening liquor store robbery scene was filmed at an actual corner store that had been robbed 17 times in the previous year, and the elderly Korean store owner's terrified reactions weren't entirely acting. The production team discovered that the man had genuine PTSD from repeated real robberies, and his trembling hands and fearful expressions captured authentic trauma responses. During filming, he kept reaching for a real gun hidden behind the counter, not understanding that the weapons being pointed at him were props. The directors had to repeatedly reassure him between takes, but his visceral fear reactions were so powerful they kept them in the final cut. Local residents who gathered to watch the filming couldn't distinguish between the scripted robbery and their daily reality, with several calling police to report an actual crime in progress at the familiar location. Number 2. The house party infiltration incident. The house party scene featured over 50 real Crips and Bloods members who showed up uninvited and refused to leave the set. The Hughes brothers faced a terrifying dilemma: shut down production or continue filming while actual gang members partied alongside their actors. They chose to keep rolling, and the authentic tension you see on screen came from cast members genuinely fearing for their safety. Larenz Tate later revealed he spent the entire scene wondering if the guns being flashed were real or props, while Tyron Turner had to navigate actual gang politics to maintain his character's credibility. The party's chaotic energy and underlying menace were completely authentic as real territorial disputes played out in the background, while cameras captured what appeared to be fictional entertainment, but was actually documentary footage of genuine gang culture. Number 3. The Watts neighborhood lockdown. The scene where Kane walks through his neighborhood was filmed during an actual gang war between local sets, with real gunshots occurring just blocks away during production. The Hughes brothers had to coordinate with multiple gang leaders to secure safe passage for their crew, essentially negotiating temporary ceasefires for filming windows. The eerie emptiness of certain streets wasn't art direction. It was the result of residents staying indoors due to genuine danger from ongoing conflicts. Several times during filming, production was halted when real violence erupted nearby, and the cast had to take cover behind cars and buildings. The haunting atmosphere of urban decay and menace captured in these scenes was amplified by the crew's authentic fear of their surroundings, creating a documentary-like quality that no amount of acting could replicate. Number 4. The car theft sequence gone wrong. During the carjacking scene, the vintage car they were supposed to steal was actually reported stolen by its real owner, who didn't know it was being used in the film. The confused owner had filed a police report when the production company borrowed the vehicle without proper documentation, leading to a surreal situation where actors were stealing an actually stolen car. Police arrived during filming and nearly arrested the entire cast before the mix-up was resolved. The tension and confusion visible in the actors' faces during the scene was genuine panic about potentially being charged grand theft auto. The production company had to pay significant legal fees and compensation to resolve the documentation nightmare, while the scene's authentic criminal energy came from everyone involved believing they might actually be committing crimes. Number 5. The hospital emergency room chaos. The hospital scenes were filmed in a real emergency room during active operating hours, with genuine trauma patients being treated alongside the fictional storyline. The medical staff appearing in the background were real doctors and nurses dealing with actual emergencies, including several real gunshot victims who arrived during filming. The chaotic, overcrowded atmosphere wasn't created by extras. It was the authentic environment of an urban emergency room on a typical night. Tyron Turner's overwhelmed expressions were genuine reactions to witnessing real medical emergencies, while trying to maintain his fictional performance. The production team had to navigate actual life and death situations while filming, and several takes were interrupted when real trauma cases took priority over the movie's needs, creating an uncomfortably authentic portrayal of urban healthcare. Number 6. The funeral parlor's hidden history. The funeral home used for filming had been the site of multiple gang-related funerals, and the funeral director insisted on using real caskets from recent violent deaths during the scene. The Hughes brothers didn't realize until after filming that some of the caskets contained actual bodies of recent murder victims, adding a macabre authenticity to the funeral sequence. The mourners in the background included real family members of gang violence victims who thought they were attending an actual service. The grief and pain visible in the funeral scene mixed genuine sorrow with fictional drama, creating an emotionally devastating sequence that drew from real loss. The funeral director later revealed he had used the filming as therapy for the community, allowing them to process real grief through the fictional narrative, making the scene a disturbing blend of entertainment and actual mourning ritual. Number 7. The drive-by shooting. Technical nightmare. The drive-by shooting scene required coordination with actual gang members who served as technical advisors, teaching the actors authentic shooting techniques and escape routes used in real crimes. These consultants were active criminals who shared specific details about how actual drive-by shootings were planned and executed, making the sequence disturbingly accurate to real gang warfare tactics. During rehearsals, one of the advisors was arrested by police who had been conducting surveillance on him for unrelated crimes, forcing the production to find new technical support mid-filming. The realistic gunfire patterns and escape methods shown in the film were based on actual criminal expertise, essentially creating an instructional video disguised as entertainment. Local law enforcement later expressed concern that the scene was too accurate and could serve as a training manual for aspiring criminals. Number 8. The high school dropout confrontation. The scene where Kane encounters his former teacher was filmed at a real high school where several cast members had actually been students, creating uncomfortable reunions between the actors and their former educators. The teacher's disappointment and frustration weren't entirely scripted. She was genuinely saddened by seeing her former students portraying the exact life paths she had tried to prevent them from following. During filming, she broke character several times to deliver real lectures about wasted potential and poor choices, which the directors incorporated into the final scene. The authentic relationship dynamics between the actors and their real former teacher added layers of genuine emotion and regret to the sequence. Several students recognized the actors and began heckling them about playing gangster when they had known them as regular teenagers, creating additional tension that enhanced the scene's realism. Number 9. The crack house investigation reality. The crack house scenes were filmed in an actual abandoned building that was actively being used by real drug users who had to be cleared out each morning before filming could begin. The production team discovered fresh drug paraphernalia and evidence of recent use daily, requiring constant cleaning and security measures to maintain safety. The authentic squalor and decay visible in the scenes wasn't created by the set decoration department. It was the genuine environment of active drug addiction and urban blight. Several times during filming, real addicts returned to the location and had to be removed by security, with some appearing in background shots before being noticed. The haunting atmosphere of desperation and decay captured in these scenes reflected the actual conditions of the building, making the fictional story uncomfortably realistic and documentary-like in its portrayal of urban drug culture. Number 10. The police harassment documentation. The scenes featuring police harassment were filmed with real LAPD officers who didn't realize they were participating in a critique of their own behavior patterns. The officers thought they were helping create a positive portrayal of law enforcement, and weren't aware that the script was specifically highlighting problematic policing tactics. Their authentic interactions with the young black cast members revealed genuine biases and aggressive behaviors that the Hughes brothers captured on film. The tension and hostility visible in these scenes came from real racial dynamics between the officers and actors, not scripted conflict. Several officers later complained when they saw the final film and realized they had been participating in a scathing indictment of police behavior in urban communities, leading to conflicts between the production company and law enforcement agencies, who felt they had been deceived about the film's intentions. Number 11. The Barbershop philosophy session. The barbershop scene, featuring older men discussing street life, was filmed with real community elders who shared authentic stories from their experiences in urban neighborhoods. These weren't professional actors. They were actual residents who had lived through decades of gang violence and social change in South Central Los Angeles. Their wisdom and warnings delivered in the scene came from genuine life experience, not scripted dialogue, making their advice to the younger characters heartbreakingly real. During filming, several of these men became emotional while sharing their stories, and their tears and passion were captured in the final version. The production team realized they were documenting oral history and cultural memory, not just creating entertainment, as these elders used the filming opportunity to pass down real knowledge to younger generations about survival and choices in their community. Number 12. The Baby's Father, revelation drama. The scene revealing the paternity of Ronnie's baby contained real DNA test results that had been accidentally mixed into the script pages, causing genuine confusion during filming. The actress playing Ronnie discovered actual paternity information about someone in the crew, creating behind-the-scenes drama as people tried to figure out whose personal business had been inadvertently incorporated into the fictional storyline. The emotional reactions during this scene were heightened by the cast's confusion about what was real and what was scripted, with several actors breaking character to question the dramatic revelations they were supposed to deliver. The production team had to halt filming while lawyers determined whether any privacy rights had been violated and whether the real paternity information could be used in the final film. This behind-the-scenes chaos added authentic tension to the scene, as actors navigated real personal drama while trying to perform fictional conflicts. Number 13. The insurance scam backfire. The scene involving an insurance fraud scheme was based on an actual scam being run by members of the production crew who used their access to vehicles and locations to stage fake accidents for real insurance payouts. The Hughes brothers discovered that their own crew members were committing the crimes being portrayed in their film, creating an ethical nightmare about whether to report their employees or continue filming. Several scenes were shot using vehicles that were actually being used in ongoing insurance fraud, making the production complicit in real crimes while creating fictional entertainment. The authentic details about how insurance scams worked came from crew members who were actively running these schemes, providing inside knowledge that made the portrayal disturbingly accurate. When insurance investigators eventually uncovered the real fraud ring, several crew members were arrested, and the production company faced legal scrutiny for their connection to actual criminal activity. Number 14. The Junkyard confrontation territory. The Junkyard scene was filmed in a location that served as neutral territory between rival gang sets, and the tension visible throughout the sequence came from real territorial anxieties among cast and crew members. The Junkyard owner was actually a former gang member who had negotiated the location's neutral status, and his presence during filming was necessary to maintain the delicate peace between various factions represented on set. Several actors were genuinely nervous about being in the location, as it was known as a place where disputes were settled violently, adding authentic edge to their performances. During filming, real gang members arrived to conduct actual business, forcing the production to pause while territorial protocols were observed. The scene's atmosphere of barely contained violence was amplified by everyone's awareness that they were in a place where real conflicts had been and could be resolved through bloodshed. Number 15. The corner store surveillance reality. The convenience store scenes were filmed under actual police surveillance as the location was being monitored for suspected drug activity, making the cast unwitting subjects of real law enforcement investigation. The Hughes brothers didn't realize that their filming location was under active surveillance, and several cast members were photographed and documented by police who thought they were witnessing actual criminal activity. The store owner was genuinely nervous during filming because he was actually involved in illegal activities and thought the movie production was a cover for law enforcement operations. His suspicious behavior and paranoid glances weren't acting. He was genuinely terrified of being caught in real crimes while fake crimes were being filmed around him. The surveillance footage captured both the fictional scenes and real criminal activity, creating a complex legal situation when police tried to determine what was performance and what was genuine illegal behavior. Number 16. The basketball court respect test. The basketball scene where characters established dominance through sports was filmed at a court where real territorial disputes were regularly settled through games, and the competition captured on film included genuine rivalries between local players. The Hughes brothers had to navigate existing beef between different neighborhood teams who used basketball as an alternative to violence for resolving conflicts. The intensity and athleticism displayed in the scene came from real competition between players who had genuine reasons to want to dominate each other on the court. Several of the basketball players were real athletes who played for neighborhood respect and status, not Hollywood paychecks, making their performances authentic expressions of street competition. The scene became a real proving ground where fictional characters had to earn genuine respect from actual street players, blurring the line between performance and legitimate territorial establishment through athletic prowess. Number 17. The family dinner. Dysfunction documentation. The dinner scene featuring Kane's family was filmed in the actual home of one of the cast members, using his real family members as background characters, creating authentic family dynamics that enhanced the scene's emotional impact. The family members weren't professional actors, and their genuine relationships and history added layers of reality to the fictional storyline. During filming, real family conflicts and dynamics emerged with authentic arguments and tensions, playing out alongside the scripted drama. The grandmother's advice and concerns were drawn from her genuine worries about her grandson's choices and associations, making her performance heartbreakingly authentic. The production team realized they were capturing real family intervention, disguised as entertainment, as actual relatives used the filming opportunity to express genuine concerns about the young actor's lifestyle and career choices, making the scene a documentary of real family dynamics. Number 18. The clothing store robbery preparation. The scene where characters plan a robbery was so realistic because it was based on actual heist plans being developed by local criminals who served as accredited technical advisors to the production. These real criminals shared specific techniques and strategies they used in actual robberies, making the planning sequence disturbingly accurate to genuine criminal methodology. During filming, some of the technical advisors were arrested for unrelated crimes, and police discovered that robbery plans shown in the movie matched details from unsolved real crimes. The authentic criminal knowledge incorporated into the scene raised concerns about whether the film was inadvertently providing instructional content for potential criminals. Law enforcement agencies later studied the scene to understand how accurately it portrayed real robbery techniques, with some departments using it as training material to help officers recognize genuine criminal planning patterns and behaviors. Number 19. The hospital intensive care reality. The intensive care unit scenes were filmed while real patients were being treated nearby, and the medical equipment and procedures shown were actual emergency medicine being practiced simultaneously with the fictional storyline. The beeping monitors and medical alarms heard in the background were from real patients in critical condition, adding authentic urgency to the dramatic scenes. Nurses and doctors appearing in the scenes were real medical professionals who continued treating actual patients while cameras rolled, creating a disturbing blend of entertainment and genuine medical crisis. Several times during filming, real medical emergencies took priority over the movie scenes, with actors having to step aside while actual life and death situations played out around them. The emotional weight of the hospital scenes was amplified by everyone's awareness that real families were experiencing genuine loss and trauma, just feet away from the fictional drama being performed. Number 20. The final showdown location legacy. The climactic confrontation was filmed at a location that had been the site of multiple real murders, and the ground still contained bullet holes and bloodstains from actual gang violence that occurred months before filming began. The Hughes Brothers chose this location specifically for its authentic history of violence, but didn't realize how the site's traumatic legacy would affect the cast and crew during filming. Several local residents gathered to watch filming and shared stories about the real people who had died at that exact location, creating an atmosphere of genuine mourning and remembrance during the fictional death scene. The emotional weight of the sequence was amplified by everyone's knowledge that they were recreating fictional violence in a place where real people had actually lost their lives. The scene became an unintentional memorial to actual victims of gang violence, making the fictional tragedy uncomfortably connected to genuine community trauma and loss. Those 20 shocking revelations expose how Menace II Society became more than just a movie. It became a documentary disguised as fiction, where real violence, genuine trauma, and authentic street life bled into every frame. The Hughes brothers didn't just create entertainment. They captured a world where the line between performance and reality disappeared completely, leaving audiences witnessing genuine pain, authentic danger, and real community trauma presented as Hollywood storytelling. The most disturbing truth. Much of what you thought was brilliant acting was actually real people living real situations, using the camera as witness to their authentic experiences. Which fact hit you the hardest? Drop a comment and tell us what other films have secrets hiding in plain sight.